In our last video, we worked on getting our AST Advantage 8100p on nice 1 silver. We gave it a good clean, as well as selected which components we're going to keep and which to leave out. Now, with that taken care of, join us for part 2, where we'll be getting our BIOS settings sorted, installing an operating system, and obviously playing some games. Welcome back to Rick's Random Retro, where you don't choose the retro life, it chooses you. Now that our machine is actually powered up, we have a few housekeeping items to take care of. First on that list is of course our BIOS settings, since after replacing the CMOS battery, any settings are back to their default values. We will start with setting our date, which is January 7th at the time of this recording. And despite what the machine thinks, the time is actually not 67:46. Now, I thought I'd have to manually configure the hard drive, but it actually detected just fine. No settings to change here. Beyond that, we're going to have a look for anything out of the ordinary we may need to change from the default values. All in all, this BIOS is pretty bare bones, as you can probably tell. There isn't much to actually change. At least in this basic hardware configuration. Now that our BIOS is configured and after reboot, we're left with what to do next. Well, actually, AST provided some options here, as there is a set of software restore CDs available for this line of computers. I just happen to be able to source both the floppy and CD needed to restore this machine back to factory specs. So we'll start with the boot floppy that kicks this process off. This is version 4.0 of the Restore CD, which unfortunately seems to be missing some of the AST software. If anyone perhaps has version 3.0 or any additional Restore CDs that has the AST unique software, be sure to leave a comment to let me know. They're surprisingly hard to find. Oh, and I always label my CDs correctly. Right. Now that we're past that little snag, the CD does its thing, which is formatting and preparing the hard drive with everything we need to get our AST back to working state. I'll cut to the end here, and this did seem faster than a bare OS install, not to mention most drivers are good to go from the start. A little more on that later. Next, the restore basically goes through the first boot process, which includes configuring plug-and-play drivers and setting some preferences. It's fun in being so used to modern plug-and-play, as the process here takes a very, very long time. I both sped this up and cut some, as you can probably see, not to make this a long video about the adventures of some progress bars. This is a weird hobby with a lot of waiting, but hey, I love it. As we boot into Windows 95 here for the first time, one thing that probably jumped out at you is, hey, where's that awesome startup sound? I need my nostalgia fix, dang it. Well, as it turns out, the restore took care of just about everything. However, if we go into the device manager, we can see there are no sound devices currently installed. To fix that, we'll have to go about it the old-fashioned way and scan for new hardware and see if it detects a sound card. Cue up yet another excruciatingly long progress bar. And hey, look at that! Our Sound Blaster 16 was found just fine. Also found is our game port on the card itself, plus our network card. Finishing this up here, all we need is one final reboot. This one we'll do in real time. Take it as a last hurrah leading to the completion of this machine. Enjoy. And there it is. Glorious. Now that our machine is complete, next come the games. Fortunately, to make things super easy, AST provided a nice little icon to go directly to DOS and with drivers loaded. Is it the most optimal DOS memory loadout you could want? Not really, but hey, it just happens to work, which can be darn nice sometimes. First in our group of DOS games is Crusader No Remorse, made by Origin in 1995. It puts you in the boots of a silencer in an isometric action shooter. I played this a ton when it came out and had fun all the way through. The game is complete with a rocking soundtrack, fun areas to explore, and more cheesy full motion video than you could ever want. While the controls are a bit clunky, it's still a lot of fun to play today. The 90s! Multimedia! Woo! Anyway, this is the very first Need for Speed, which of course is a very known series at this point. This game is a lot of fun to play, featuring a drool-worthy selection of 90s sports car and impressive graphics to go with it. This may seem like it's running slow, but when I upgraded as a kid to this machine, the graphics just blew me away. Coming from my 486 playing this same game, it was a night and day difference. Next, a game that took a great formula and turned everything up to 11. Command & Conquer Red Alert, released by Westwood Studios in 1996, was a follow-up to the immense hit that was Command & Conquer. Featuring an altered history setting with a ton of fun units and features, it was a sure hit at any LAN party. And as is usual with Westwood, the story came packed with terrific full-motion video oozing with style. Released as real-time strategy games started dominating, this one left an impression.
Affirmative. Awaiting order. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. At one. At one. Affirmative. Very well. Yes, sir. Very well. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
You want a super cheesy 90s multimedia game trying to be a movie? Well, of course you do. The proliferation of CD-ROMs among home computers gave game makers a huge boost in storage space, leading to an explosion in media-packed games. One of those was Under a Killing Moon, released in 1994 by Access Software. Dubbed an interactive movie, it came on a whopping 4 CDs and saw down on his luck PI Tex Murphy try and solve a mystery. Pretty clunky to play, but it's still a lot of fun.
Bam! Bam, bam! Bam! And you! Hey, Sonny, can you help me out? My girlfriend threw my gun out of the window. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just pick it up and, hey, don't point that thing up here. That's not a toy, you know. Oh, my hell. No matter how bad things got, I always had my gun. Now I've lost that too. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those days.
This machine runs games under Windows 95 as well, of course, and here we have Civilization 2, released in 1996. Sid Meier and his team at Microprose managed to follow up their smash hit with a game that set the bar for turn-based 4X games for quite some time. Starting with just a simple settler, you keep playing until your empire stretches far and wide. And keep playing. And keep playing. What was it saying? Oh yeah, hang on. Just one more turn. What? Why are the birds singing outside? 4 in the morning? Sip, you did it again. Just a few more turns. I just need to finish those archers and I can show Spain who's boss. Okay, really, I'm gonna stop as soon as I crush these guys. Just need to build a couple more cities, then I'm good. You know, I honestly played this for hours to record this. It still sucks you right in. So, where does that leave us? Well, for starters, these are just some of the games I played back in the day on this very kind of machine. They may not be the best, but they have a special place for me. Beyond that, our computer is ready to roll and will play a wide variety of DOS and Windows 95 games with excellent compatibility. The specs aren't the best you could get, and there are some things I'm sure could be better, like the sound card. Compatibility is great with the Sound Blaster 16 support, but a higher spec card like an AW64 will kick things up another notch. And speaking of that, I may plan to upgrade this beyond what I could have done when I had it originally. Look for a future video on that topic. If you have ideas for specific upgrades, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear your suggestions. On that note, I'm very excited to have this machine again, and it'll be used to enjoy many, many games. If you like this video, perhaps you'd enjoy some of my other ones. This is Rick, thank you very much for watching, and remember everyone, stay classy.